Okay, so there's some huge drama going on right now in the Roblox community. One of the biggest developer controversies we've seen in a while, and honestly, it's messy. Let's break this down. So, the original owner of Forsaken is a developer named Soul. Now, Soul allegedly did some very bad things and has a bunch of allegations against him. Because of that, the dev team of Forsaken and even the community wanted him to go. They wanted him to quit, leave, and hand over the game Forsaken. So Soul had apparently promised to transfer ownership of the game to the two other developers, Hitoko and Basil. But instead of doing that, Soul sold the game to another person named Pariette. So right off the bat, Soul lied. Luckily, Pariette told Hitoko they had no intention of being hands-on with the development. They wanted the devs to keep running things just like before. Hitoko and Basil still own the game and work on the game alongside the other devs, but Pariette now also holds a percentage of the revenue. And here's where it gets wild. Just a couple of days ago, an NDA was broken and a bunch of private information came out. One of the biggest pieces of the information was that Soul is still earning from the game, as in, real money. That means even though Soul doesn't work on the game anymore, he's still profiting off the game's success. Here's where it gets even more complicated. Everyone involved had to sign an NDA. An NDA is a non-disclosure agreement. So technically, they weren't allowed to talk about Soul's involvement or anything going on behind the scenes. But apparently, Soul himself violated the NDA, and that's how all of this information started to leak out. Because of this, players have started boycotting the game, which means to stop playing the game as we know it Forsaken. A lot of people don't want to support it, knowing Soul is still making money, especially given his reputation. To be clear, Soul has never been charged in court or has gone to jail, but his name in the community is already extremely controversial. Now, here's where the real problem starts to happen. People are really angry towards the developers too. Hitoko told the community before that if Soul was involved at all, the entire dev team would have left. But clearly that wasn't true, because Soul is still financially involved. Now, lying to your community is never a good thing. But when you're under an NDA, a legal contract, you don't really have a choice. If they had talked about it openly, they could have been sued. That's why I find it stupid seeing people harassing the devs on Twitter for not telling the community sooner, because they could have gotten sued or they would have had to pay large fines. So at the end of the day, here's the situation. Soul promised to give up ownership but didn't. Instead, he sold part of the game. Now Hitoko and Basil own a percentage of it, but not the whole thing. Meanwhile, Soul is still making money off the game without working on the game. The dev team lied to cover it up because of the NDA, but the truth came out eventually, and now the game is being boycotted. Anyways, that's the whole situation. Subscribe to stay updated.